He's a showman. Kane in the show was a showman, and he's like marketing.
But no, apparently you can just refer to anything used in a particular activity, personal belongings, ornaments. Huh, neat.
All right, everyone, make your way into the Roll20 and into the Watch together.
Alrighty.
Kind of a slower session. And honestly, I don't know exactly what you guys will do next, so it's going to be pretty chill. Don't have too much prep for today, so we'll see what happens. And this is totally not to lure you into a false sense of security. Would I lie to you?
Yes.
That's just insulting.
Well, look at you again. Why are you gonna come out and say it like that, Flinger? Jeez. I was gonna try and be polite, saying, you may mislead us. For a narrative plot reason. But I mean, here you are just gonna come out and go, yes.
I do not bullshit. I do not beat around the corner. I beat around the bush.
I said beat around the corner. I know Dirk's a strong boy, but Jesus.
Well then, shall we?
Who is Dirk beating around the corner?
Nyulrin, purportedly. I mean,
Lies and slander.
if you look on the Roll20, you know they're on top of each other.
Oh, good lord!
Whoa!
Please tell me that wasn't recorded. I don't know what that implies. Anyway, let's get started when everyone's ready. Niall, do you need a minute?
You can start without me. I'm in the VC. I'm just coming back from a cigarette run.
You shouldn't smoke. It's bad.
Yeah. Tell that to the 3 packs they consume a day.
Meanwhile, me with liquor.
Both are bad habits. Niall, how long do you need? Because honestly, I might use the bathroom real quick if it's gonna be like 5 minutes or more.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 5 minutes.
All right, perfect. I'll be right back then. As soon as Niall's back and as soon as I'm back, we get started in the throw.
Alrighty.
5-hour energy. Oh, I will never get over that taste. Gold. We need to play Elden Ring again at some point.
All right. Tomorrow could be fun.
I think I can work.
Oh, you got work?
No, I said that can work.
All right.
All right, that's a class. That's a pretty good phrase if I ever find myself back in the Forgotten Realms.
What?
By Moradin's mighty hammer, I will reforge your noggin.
Okay, that's a good one.
I think that works for pretty much any dwarf character, even if it's not Forgotten Realms. Right, I'm home. When Senate's ready.
All right. Wait.
I'm gonna post something in memes. When the paintball kids run in school, when the paintball kids in school run into the airsoft kids. I'll post it on my server too.
While we're waiting, can someone remind me what we did last session?
Hello.
We saved a tree.
Yeah, I remember that part. Did we do anything after we killed it?
No, we were
Mostly
tired.
just recovered, yeah. A long and exhausting battle. Did you get a new headset, or are you still just walking?
I'm home. I'm just setting stuff on the table, but I can get into the roll, Tony.
Sounds good. Alrighty then. When we last left off, oh wait, is everyone here actually first?
Yes.
No, Flinger isn't. No.
Faely?
I'm here.
Alright. When we last left off, our intrepid band of adventurers... Oh wait, have I? Yeah, Watch Together is in Detroit. Our intrepid band of adventurers had found their way into the heart of the Druid, of the Kaelwyn tribe. The massive towering weird tree serving as the reflection of nature itself had begun to be twisted and corrupted through dark magics. Fortunately, you were all quick enough to put down the dreaded spirit which had twisted and malformed the this heart of the wilds, and through vanquishing Zenshir, have broken Anderthan's immortality, an ability to resurrect. Though, as the battle has drawn to a close, it becomes clear that the Gravesinger is not here. Though he had joined his kin in assaulting the heart of the Kaelwyn, when the battle begun to turn against him, he fled. Rumors indicate that he may have gone... The Kaelwyn have dispatched rangers in order to attempt to pick up his trail. But for now, you've all been resting, taking time to mend your wounds and recover. You can see as you're all currently resting beneath a very tall, thick tree with sort of greenish gold leaves, which seem to subtly shift and shimmer in the light and wind. The way the early morning sun kind of kisses the leaves, makes it almost look like they are speckled with little pinpricks of gold. It is a calming sight. Nearby, you can see a few stray embers from the wildfires have been still kind of held in the air, but the Kaelwyn have put out majority of the fires and are now in the process of rebuilding.
Who did start the fire?
It was always burning since the world's been turning.
I'd keep your day job, Dirk.
Huh?
Ouch.
All right. I'd keep your day job, Dirk.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nearby, you hear one of the Kaelwyn kind of calls out to one of his kin as they are working to set up a large tent for beginning to kind of reestablish several of the campgrounds within here. There don't seem to be many, if any, like permanent structures within the grove here. You'd saw back in the city of Kale, you did see like actual buildings, but this area seems much more wild. While there were tents, it has mostly been kept untouched. save for a couple paths made with like paved stone. Well, not paved, but a couple stone paths and a few bridges. But yes, you've all received the benefits of a long rest. What do you do?
You're resting. I'm assuming we're like meeting. Yeah, we've all rested. We are all outside under this tree.
Yes, essentially.
Well, the question is, what now? Should we go for Anderthorn or deal with your father, Nyulrin?
As much as I would like to handle my more personal issues, I believe going after Anderthorn is the correct choice.
True. He's vulnerable for the moment. He might have some other plan to cause us trouble. So I've already the Kael'went have sent their rangers after him. I don't really have any magic that we can use to locate him, so
Hopefully the Rangers will be able to get track.
all right. Are there any of the Kael'went around?
Yeah, there's tons of people throughout here. You could easily get in contact with them.
All right.
You may not know specifically who you need to talk to, but you should have a good idea, generally speaking.
All right. We'll do that then. Ask them if we ask around and get in touch with whoever can give us any word on the Rangers if they've been able to have any success.
You'd probably want to either speak to. Why can't I talk? You'd probably want to either speak to Fenyak or what's his name? It's on the tip of my or Nylan. Either of them would likely know. You do know that Nylan is currently within the Great Weird. He is there alongside alongside Fenya.
Right.
As for Fenyak, you'd seen him about 20 or so minutes ago before you all kind of sat up here to rest. He was overlooking one of the damaged sites from the fire.
All
He might
right.
still be there.
Dirk, Kate, do you have any thoughts?
Dirk's like kind of like miserable after how much he exerted himself.
Got it. No thoughts, head empty.
Just want to go back to bed.
I like to get a rest in a proper bed myself, but whoever said no rest for the wicked was full of bullshit.
Yeah, they always seem well rested whenever we've run into them.
Right then. Let's go talk with Fenyak. He was near that where one of the fires burnt out might still be there.
Alrighty.
As you all begin to kind of... Is anyone staying here to rest up more, or...
As Dirk would probably would want to be a bit lazy, he does understand that, yeah, time is of the matter.
Time is of the matter?
Yep, so, brain not working.
Time is of the essence.
Essence.
Did we get a long rest? Or a short
Yes.
rest?
Yeah, we got a
Long rest. You all have been able to just collapse. As you all make your way south, as you pass by various Kaelin, many of their warriors, but also numerous civilians, you receive many nods of affirmation. A couple people cheer out to you. You've seemingly earned these people's respect for whatever that's worth. As you all are... Jesus. I will be right back. I apologize. I just got a call from my brother. I need to answer this real quick.
Alrighty. That is amazing.
What?
I'm gonna post it in memes in my server. So, slight spoilers for Monster Hunter Stories 3. Apparently one of your companions has 5 fucking Palagos who look exactly the same.
Like, good. The fucking gang. My brothers or something.
I don't know. I believe so. I just believe that, God damn it. I'm just scrolling through Twitter and then I just see this next. Hello, Munchie. What?
You've never seen that meme.
No. A cent.
We're referencing the same meme.
Oh. Hello, Munchie. Come here. There's a fat cat. You are.
Good.
Oh, you've got your claws out. Uh-oh. I don't like that. See, wait, hold on, let me turn off noise suppression. See if I can get her to meow. Air biscuits. I've got Munchie in my arms and she's doing air biscuits. Oh, hey, do not bite my arm. Do I need to take you out of my room? I'll take all the squirming as a yes. Oh, you're a fat cat.
Eh. Uh,
All right, sorry about all that.
alrighty.
Let's hope I don't have to step away again. But yes, you guys managed to locate Fenyak. When you arrive, you see him currently holding a small cup in his left hand, as he's just kind of like a small clay cup in his left hand, as he's watching the work be done to kind of mend the burnt and damaged earth. As you all approach, he does peer over his shoulder, giving a bit of a nod of acknowledgement as you all draw near.
Maniac, how goes the work?
He kind of does a bit of a half shrug as he just says, "It will be time-consuming. These fires have been burning for some time." He kind of looks over to the burnt trees as he just says, "Nearly 2 weeks from the damage." Well, if you want to, go ahead and roll nature.
Why not? Why not? Ahran doesn't know shit.
2 weeks feels like a really long time for a tree to burn. For a wildfire to be raging for 2 weeks and this to be the damage seems kinda light. This whole grove should be leveled. But there's only just a handful of patches that seem to burn significantly.
Yes, these trees don't burn very well.
He chuckles as he just says, No, they do not. It is hard to kill a weird tree.
Right. Speaking of the weird tree, do we have any word on Anderthon?
Yeah, Anderthon.
Anderthon.
From what I've heard of the recent scouts, the Gravesinger was seen heading southwest, making their way more towards the Orcalands near Erdskenzal. We don't know what he's after. We don't know what he's after or where he's heading. All we know is that seemed to be the direction he was going.
We need to put a stop to him and his whatever he's trying to do. Can we meet up with your scouts somewhere, or try and catch up with them?
He said he can send word to them to expect you guys, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. The Empire is still combing the forest for them, and while they are unlikely to be able to find the Great Weird, it still is. Sorry. While they'll struggle to find the Great Weird, and almost certainly won't be able to siege it, it is still a matter that requires attention. The Empire is nothing if not creative from time to time. It's not their first time facing druids.
Hey. Well, we've dealt with Anderthon. We'll turn our attention to them.
He nods as he just says, "Well, then I'll pray to Kislev that you move swiftly." until our warriors are injured and exhausted. We've taken many losses, and the Empire is... All the while, the Empire is still pressing in. For the time being, we aren't in any position to go hunting.
I see.
He does look to you as he does kind of look to you before looking to the Great Weird, before he just mentions, though I doubt Nyulrin will. He wants to avenge his father. Something tells me he'll find his way to join them all. Hello?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just waiting to see if anyone else.
No, I don't have anything.
Who was-
It's just
Okay.
Dirk just there listening.
Nyulrin has been making it clear he wishes to avenge his father. Though the new archdruid has said he is forbidden from leaving, I doubt it will discourage him.
Is he blaming Anderthon for his father's death?
Yes, this whole mess is, well, it is Anderthon is the ringleader of this. I suspect he was.
We could use a guide through your land.
He chuckles as he just says, "Oh no doubt. But the archdruids have been speaking out against it. They worry that going off on a quest of revenge like this might guide Nyulrin to a darker place. There's a difference between justice and vengeance. And vengeance rarely satisfies.
Anderthon needs to be slain regardless of be it justice or vengeance. Call it whatever you know.
He just says, don't mistake me. I will happily put an arrow between his eyes. But when I do it, it will be dispassionate. There will not be a darkness in my soul. Nyulrin, the elf may not show it, but he's seething with a quiet rage and fury which can disrupt his very being. I doubt he will listen to the druids. I doubt he'll listen to the archdruids and remain here. And I doubt he will listen to the council of the druids. And I suspect he will find his way he will join all of you regardless. It's not my place to determine his path. All I'd ask is that you take care of him and prevent him from losing himself to his mourning.
Going to be taking off on its own regardless. It would probably be better for everyone involved if he were to accompany us directly.
Fenyak kind of chuckles as he just says, "Oh, no doubt that would be the easiest way. But I suspect that I'm not the one you need to talk to. I'm sure." He kind of pauses for a moment before just shrugging. I'm sure Fenya would be willing to hear you out."
He's on this council?
He nods. He says she's one of 5. though technically one of 3 as of now.
Mhm.
And one of 2 actively here.
Right.
He just kind of says two were slain in the fall. 2 were slain in the fall of Calderon. Another is more northward near Lagran. The other is someone I don't believe you've had the pleasure of meeting.
Well, then, let's go speak with Fenya. Do you know where we might also find Nylan?
He just shrugs as he just says, if he's not within the Great Weird, I wouldn't know where he is.
Aaron will thank Fenyak, and was Dirk resting by the tree still, or is he with the group?
I believe he's with the group.
All right.
Kind of just been listening, but not really had much to react with.
Dirk, Faely, would you two want to go see if you can find Nylan? I figure you're not especially interested in meeting with councils.
Not particularly.
Right.
Oh.
No. Yes. Just, it would be a shame if Nylan was to violate the council's edict and go after Anderthon. We would, of course, not be able to turn back if he was to accompany us. We're in a hurry, after all. And we could certainly use the help. Truly a shame. Arn will say as she heads off to the council.
I don't think stopping him would be a bad idea.
Honestly, I would welcome the help if not for the council's decision, Arn says, winking at Dirk.
He'll smile. Alright, let's go find this fucker.
As you guys are preparing to head out, Fenyak just, you see him kind of reach to his... You see him just kind of offer a small jug over to your group. As he just mentions, I think you got... It's, within it is a... Within it seems to be some kind of milk, as he explains it's, Sorry, hang on. I had a name for this. And I can't find it. No. I will look this up in a minute when it's actually important. Either way, he's offering you a special milk that the Kaelin have that allows them to... that basically can sustain a man for a day.
Lumbus milk.
Basically, yeah. Let's call it that Let's call it that. It's just, it's lumbus milk. It has a very bitter taste, but it's filling. And pretty good for your energy.
I'll take it. Just one?
It's like a full jug, so everyone can have a cup to start their day off.
Alright.
It's what he was drinking when you guys approached.
that, Ahran is going to go, presumably with Nyulrin, to talk to the council.
Yep, Nyulrin is coming along. But he does voice some concerns that maybe the council is right.
As they're walking, it doesn't matter how right the council is if no one, if he's not going to follow their advice.
And why should we not convince him otherwise?
Do you think you can convince him?
It would be hypocritical of me to deny someone their revenge. But I also have my own doubts of what may transpire if he goes through with this.
Very least, if he's with us, we can stop him from doing anything too rash.
Or better yet, we give him a false sense of confidence to do worse.
You know, I forgot how much of a pessimist you can be, Nyulrin.
Pessimist? I am the shining beacon of optimism. My glass is always full, never half. Mostly because the servants fill it up all the time, but that is besides the point.
Or size. Well, if you think you can truly convince him, I welcome you to make the attempt. Otherwise, I think it's... Well, all we can do is hope he abides by the council's edict.
As you all begin to approach the steps of the Great Weird, you see a sizable congregation of Kaelwyn warriors managing the approach and helping make sure its security is maintained. As you draw near, no one denies you access to the Weird itself. Believe it or not, believe it or not, they're not in place. They're not attempting to stop you. After everything you've done for the tribe. Especially given the fact that you've already been here.
Yeah, if we wanted to hurt it, we could have already done it. Something.
Yeah. As the two of you step inside, ahead of you, standing at the heart of the grove, you spot two figures standing amongst the glowing rune stones. At the mouth of the entrance, you see a sizable congregation of warriors just manning security. But otherwise, aside from the members of the council, you appear to be alone. The two figures ahead, on the right, you see Fenya, the tall half-elven woman with long blackish-green hair, a sort of glowing scythe of bone, hand sickle of bone on her waistband, and to her left you see go ahead and roll insight. The figure you see appears to be a gnome, but they are rather androgynous in their appearance. Kind of hard to tell at a glance. Ahran, it looks like it's a guy. He seems to have very long braided hair with a kind of floral wreath around his head. The gnome has fairly ornate and honestly very well-sewn robes, like clothen robes that aren't usually it appears to be made of some amount of fine silk, not the type of garb the Kaelwyn are usually seen with. though there is no denying his presence as a druid. As you can see, in his right hand, he has a very long staff that appears to be 3 vine branches that have kind of like twirled and spiraled around each other to create the staff. And at the very tip of it is a long kind of almost crystallized flower bud. As you
interesting.
As you begin approaching, you can overhear a bit of the conversation between the two. Talking about, they seem to just be examining the health of the tree as Fenya just mentions I can still sense the residual corruption. It is likely the coming seasons will likely be harsh for this land. The other druid just replies, The weird is strong. You don't need to worry about heart. It will endure. And we will make sure of it. The last thing you hear before the two of you have kind of approached to speak would be Fenya just asking a bit more earnestly, will we endure? As the two of you arrive, she kind of tilts her head towards you all before kind of dusting herself off and approaching. Greetings, Shairin. Welcome.
Shairin?
Shairin. She kind of pauses a moment. Forgive me. She seems to be like trying to think of how to describe it. It is a title of honor. We will let us leave it at that. It translates roughly from Sylvan. Oh, wait, do you know Sylvan?
Does know Sylvan.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, Ahran does know Sylvan. If it's just Sylvan, then Ahran would be familiar with the phrase.
My mistake. Yes, then the word Shireen transfers to roughly favored outsiders. Savior stranger. Basically, you are not of our people, but you have...
You're one of the good ones.
Kind of. It's more honorific than saying, you're one of the good ones. It's definitely more respectful, but it's in You're
one of the best ones.
Yeah. You're not of our tribe, but you are as close as you can be. It is a mark of respect within. Rarely, yeah. It is a very respectful title.
Ahran will let Nyulrin know. She'll it's a mark of respect for outsiders.
Looking to have an emissary, I guess.
Well, that's something to think on the bright side. In the future, if you survive, the Empire and the Kael'wen's relations will surely improve.
You see Fenya's eyebrow just perk slightly as she just says, I doubt it can get any worse.
True.
Once I have taken my rightful place in the Senate, I will work to ensure that relations, at the very minimum, stabilize.
Aye, it'd help if you all weren't burning down our cities.
Nyulrin will say to her in fluent Gnomish.
Gnomish.
It's a guy. Then again, like I said, he appears
it's a human?
No, he appears to he is a male gnome, but he appears extremely androgynous. To the point that I had Ahran roll an insight check, and you failed, so you don't know if he's a guy or a girl. Ahran is able to deduce that it is a guy.
Nyulrin will say to it in fluent Gnomish, what those traitors are doing is not the will of the Empire or its people.
Makes little difference from our perspective. Our homes are burning. He says it almost with a bit of a smirk.
You can't really argue with that. It is burning.
That does, oh wow, I'm sure. Oh, great comfort that they don't mean it.
Regardless, I wanted to speak with you all on Anderthorn. My
Yes.
party is.
Oh, God.
Our party's intention is to pursue him, meet up with your rangers, and see if we can put an end to him.
The two look to each other as Fenya just says, I would, by all means. Our warriors have been... we have lost many. And we need every blade, and we need all of them here in the home to secure the Great Weird. Ensure another attack does not occur, and defend ourselves from the encroachment of the Empire. Though I'm sure you surmised this already. Aside from the scouts we sent after Anderthon himself, there is little we can send in the way of support. We took losses as is, and I'm not sure we can exactly pressure in the great. I'm not entirely sure we would be able to convince Athos to lend her aid again. She's rather particular about these kind of things. No, I suppose it might be worth a try. You never know.
Speaking of Anderson, I've heard that Harrison's son, Nyulrin, has been...
When you say his name, you see both of them visibly tense slightly.
grounded, for lack of a better term?
We have instructed him to remain here. And that is our decision.
You believe he'll abide by it?
I do not know. We have told him we have given him the guidance. We have instructed him to obey the will of the druids and our council. Perhaps he will see reason, or perhaps he will not. It is his path, what he chooses. We have not forbade him from leaving. But we have made our... She kind of is trying to parse her words a moment before the druid beside her just kind of speaks up. We made it clear he needs to stay. The boy's racked with grief. It's not a good... The boy's racked with grief. He's got to throw himself at this problem, thinking it'll make it go away. When it doesn't, It's going to break him. And he won't feel. That's the thing about revenge. It might feel good in the moment, but if you don't actually treat the wound, it'll fester. You'll never move on. He chases after Anderson. Best case scenario, he succeeds. He manages to track him down, put a bolt between his eyes. And what then? His father's still dead. It's not going to make it. It's not going to change it. That fact. Anderson needs to be stopped. I don't think there's anyone here who disagrees. But he needs to be stopped for the right reasons. Not in an attempt to make a pain go away. Not an attempt to make the pain go away. As it won't. Not for long.
Ahran will kind of curiously just look at Nyulrin as this is being said to see how he responds to any of that.
Just want to imagine
He
Dirk
looks
rubbing-
very...
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Just want to imagine Dirk's rubbing his hand. All right, let's get this guy on board to murder someone.
I don't know. How is Nyulrin taking this?
He's pretty indignant. He can tell that there's parallels to his own situation, but he disagrees about revenge taking the pain away. Or not taking the pain away, I mean.
Yeah. As he just says, us Kaelin, we're tied to the spirit of the land. We're tied to the weird. We're tied to this place. Balance in one's soul. Oh, hello?
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 Hi, sorry, my Roll20 just sputtered. Oh shoot, we are on tension music? Sorry, I thought I had uploaded a new song and it had been playing this whole time. I did not realize the music switched. I'd muted the watch together while I was searching for other music, and I just never uploaded it. This is what you were supposed to have been listening to this whole time. My bad.
All good.
But yeah. Us Kaelin. We're connected to the spirit of the land. We can sense the weight of things. When things are in balance, there's a glow, a radiance in one's soul. Nyulrin, he doesn't show it. But he's breaking on the inside. What he needs, he needs his community. He needs his friends. He needs his family. He needs to be there for him. He has 2 younger siblings. One of them, he's going to go off and leave them to deal with this on their own. They're all adults, but it's not. He kind of is trying to collect. Now he's the one who's just trying to think of the exact right way to put it. As Fenya just kind of comments up, his siblings are all adults. Their actions are their own, but grief is not meant to be tended to in a vacuum.
Hi, Maxwell joins us.
Huzzah.
My Roll20 is not working.
To catch you up, we were resting under a tree. We talked to one of the rangers about going after the evil undersinger who's behind all this nonsense. Found out the kid of the archdruid is not coping especially well. And Ahran kind of gave Dirk permission to tell this kid that, I say kid,
Hey,
he's an elf.
Hey, look, vengeance is bad as all that, but how would you like to have a sense of self-satisfaction?
Yeah, vengeance is bad, but
Boy, is it momentarily satisfying.
yeah.
I love the fucking quote of who. Oh God, hold on, give me a second. When on the path of vengeance, dig 2 graves. Whoever said that is an idiot. I'm going to be killing a lot more than 2 people.
But yeah, the gnome just kind of finishes up his point. The kid, he's hurting. There's people here who care for him and want to see him recover. He goes off. I don't think we can't stop him from leaving. I know it's in his nature. He's going to go. But what he does when he gets there, that's what's going to matter. I sense. Yeah, go ahead.
Presumably, he'd kill Anderson.
Aye, but would he make him suffer? Would he torture the man, try and extract some kind of personal satisfaction from it? Try and get even, rather than just doing what needs to be done. There is a difference. Might not seem like one, but there is. How a thing is done is just as important as what you're doing.
Well, we do need a guide.
He kind of peers over to Fenya, as the two of them are dead silent as they just kind of stare at each other a moment. Every so often, you see one of them like perk an eyebrow or like their face visibly reacted some way. Go ahead and roll Arcana. I'd say both of you.
Come on, Nyulrin, put those big brain cells to work. All 2 of them.
Hey.
Okay,
I have 3.
I gave you one of mine.
They appear to be having a mental conversation, likely debating person to person through some kind of subtle magic. I think druids can learn message, but I think there's another spell I might be thinking of. Message cantrip. Either way, they appear to be having a quiet conversation between the 2 of them. And after a moment, Fenya is the first to speak as she says, I believe he should go with you. Keep a close eye upon him, and temper his worst instincts. Find Anderson, and end the threat he poses. That is all that can be said on this matter.
Done.
Did you say something, Gold?
We'll see it.
Uh-oh.
They're
Hello?
cutting out.
You're breaking
Hello?
up a bit.
Hold on, let me try plugging in my cord instead of using the Wi-Fi. Give me just a moment.
She nods in acknowledgement, and she just says, then travel well. She turns and kind of breaks from the conversation as something kind of catches her attention among the rune stones. And she pulls away. She kind of pulls out the sickle and kind of runs the blade along just like the very tip of her pointer finger, drawing a little bit of blood that she then kind of like begins using a kind of pulling from her a little side bag. There's various like components that she begins to kind of just like piece together as she begins casting a spell over one of the stones. Meanwhile, the other druid just kind of looks over to her and looks back to all of you. Aye, well, anything you all need for your travels, I could see it arranged.
Clyde, I can't imagine you guys are exactly running in a surplus of healing potions.
He just looks to you as he just says, "We're druids. 90%. One of our primary exports are alchemy components and potions. We probably have more. We have more alchemists per person than anyone in the fucking world."
Huh. I suppose you would. I just kind of figured what with all the battle and damage, your stocks would be depleted, but
Don't get me. Yeah, he just chuckles again. Oh, don't get me wrong. We're definitely lower. There's definitely far fewer than we normally do. Well, a lot of you are going off to fight a Gravesinger, a pretty fucking powerful one. I think we can spare a few.
All right.
Especially after you effectively helped save this entire island and much of the mainland from becoming a barren pox and plague-ridden wasteland. I think we can cough up a few potions.
Then, that will definitely prove helpful.
Any other requests?
I have a question for you, Druid.
Aye.
You said that you can see the harmony within souls.
It's a bit of a fruity way of saying it, but to an extent, yeah.
What do you see within Ahran? And he sort of points with his thumb.
Me, Aaron will say.
What do I have a sense you're not necessarily asking about her. I've got a sense you're asking about yourself.
I know the answer for myself. I do not need someone to look in.
When you say that, he kind of rubs his chin, a bit interested, as he just kind of taps the staff down. And what is it you think you see? What do you think I see?
Only you know the answer to that last question. As for
no.
the first...
Oh, sorry. Sorry, you said I know myself, or what did you say?
He said that he knows the answer for himself. He doesn't need someone else to look in for him.
Yeah, but no, then to that he would ask, then what do you think that answer is?
Say, for your sake, and for the sake of my companion,
Hello?
Hello? Did my voice cut out?
Yeah, it did.
You said
Oh,
for
fuck.
your sake and the sake of my companion.
Yeah, that was... did the previous part cut out then?
No.
Yeah, that was
maybe.
it then. He said, I'd rather not say for your sake and for the sake of my companion.
Okay.
Okay. And he just says, the man just kind of shrugs just a little bit as he just says, well, we all have our own battles to fight. And you'll fight yours soon enough, I suspect. If you're curious, I see a great deal of turmoil, uncertainty. You feel you're approaching a I sense you're approaching something. A battle, a meeting. One that you're not prepared for, no matter how much you think you might be. How close am I getting?
Unprepared physically.
Well, not where it matters, eh?
I should hope not.
And what will you do when you meet this person, or fight this person, or confront them, or he just kind. You see him just kind of groan slightly as he rubs his head, as he just says, "When I see people, when I look into someone's soul, I see colors. Different, each one meaning a little something different. When I look at you, I'm seeing shades of blue, black. Mixed in with them, I'm seeing dark crimson and speckles of bright gold."
If you wish to know what it is that I think, and he switches to Gnomish. If I name what I must do justice, if I name it vengeance, then I fall. I find no word that does not condemn me for what I must do.
He then says, "I'm seeing a deeper shade. Mourning. The person you want to kill, the person you're going to fight, or someone you don't want to be." He pauses a moment. I'm going to, let's see. What is he? Is he able to... Family? He asks as a question.
I do not wish for it to be so. Though I do not know if I wish him not to be my father, or if I wish that things had been different. Entirely sure. All I know is that I must strike him down for the evil to end. Though I do wonder if that evil will merely find a quieter place within me.
This is all being said in Gnomish, yeah?
Yep.
Arn's just like scratching her head a bit. And then winces accidentally herself with her claws.
He
Someone didn't learn their lesson.
He is quiet a moment as he does say, "Aye, and that's the tricky business with this, isn't it? That's the same thing we're trying to avoid with Nyulrin. Sometimes a thing needs to be done, but how it's done is important." He tries to, after a moment, he is reminded of a parable or a small tale. He retells a story of a man who had lost his daughter to a great plague. He had spent years chasing after a cure and a way to bring her back. And during that time, he met many people. Each one offered him a chance to start again and to move past that which had held him back or had kind of stood against him. But every time, he was obsessed with bringing back his lost daughter. He pushed them away. He ignored their calls for help, their offers, and was determined to see it through on his own. Ultimately, he did succeed, though not, as is so often the case with stories such as this, not in the way he had intended. While he had been while he was able to, he made a pact that saw his daughter return to him, but she was not the same. And true, or perhaps in a bit of irony, perhaps she was the same, but he himself had changed so much in the years of his obsession that he was no longer the person she knew. He just kind of posits to the effect of vengeance in goals such as this, these confrontations, the push for justice or to right a wrong, they are always they can be a force for great good and great change, but just as easily can be turned against those who are seeking it. You have the potential. I sense, though I have seen it within you, there are speckles, there is a great brightness, a shining golden light within you. One that could be kindled into a raging fire. One of resounding light that could lead countless through this darkness that the world has found itself in. But to do that, you need to first lead yourself out of your own darkness. You cannot save others without first saving yourself. What form this will take, I cannot tell you. It is up to you to determine what kind of man you will be. It is up when you will soon meet this person. And so it is there where the true test of your character will be seen. If you will continue, as you said, if you will be the one to continue the same, go down. What was it you said? It was something about picking up where his father left off, essentially becoming him, more or less.
Not entirely becoming him, but at least keeping one of the worst parts of him, within.
And what did you mean by that?
See, you know how the fucking explanation for why Batman doesn't kill is like, if you kill a murderer, the number of murderers remains the same. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate that explanation personally, but
well, no, personally, I think it's stupid, and that's why that's not what's being advocated here at all. Your father's a rat bastard and needs to pay. The difference is the case of how Nyulrin's going about it is the important distinction here. Is it a rageful, Anakin Skywalker screaming as he's throwing his entire weight into every single attack until the man is, brutalized? Or is he doing what's needed to be done to end the threat? And, what word am I thinking of for like?
Doing it without personal attachments.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, no, what Nyulrin meant was
becoming a passionless killer.
No, not entirely that. No, instead he meant, like, so far, whenever he's killed, there's been rage to it, there's been hate to it, but it's always been sort of righteous. There's always been like, I am, I'm an instrument of the gods and things like that. But here, there's the difference that there is, of course, the obvious answer that he needs to die. He's a terrible person. He should die. But there's also something that he's not doing it for a good purpose. He's like, whenever he kills someone else, like during the adventure, whenever he's killed someone, he's had bad feelings about them. He's hated them. He's been angry. But it's always been like, I'm doing this for a good cause. For his father specifically, he doesn't feel that this is for a good cause. He wants to do it for himself. There's a selfishness to it, which was absent for a lot of other kills that he did throughout the campaign.
Yeah, that's kind of the point that I guess I'm trying to get to. There's a limit to how much I can personally wax philosophically, because I'm simply not wise enough of a person to properly express these points and what is being said. Ultimately, the druid effectively says that you are faced with a crossroads of what path you wish to nurture. Will you nurture vengeance and personal selfishness, or will you nurture duty, honor, and will you nurture personal selfishness, or will you choose to nurture duty and dignity? The choice is ultimately going to be yours. And he senses that you have that's kind of just what he says. He hopes the next time he sees you, your palette will no longer be this muddled mess of blues, crimsons, and crimsons, and blacks. He hopes you nurture the gold within you. But ultimately, that is a path you must decide for yourself.
If you wish for me to decide my own path, why are you not letting the little ranger decide what he must do for himself? His path and mine are not the same, no matter how much you would wish to draw parallels between us. He wishes to avenge his father. I wish to end mine. And I do not know if I raise my blade for the world, or because I cannot bear to leave him breathing. All I know is that if there is righteousness in this act, it will not come from my heart. But there is a cleanliness to what he must do. There is righteousness in what the ranger will accomplish with his vengeance.
He just says that he actually kind of refutes that. No. There is no righteousness found in vengeance. There is no righteousness found in... Sorry. There's no righteousness found in vengeance. Though some do deserve judgment, some cannot be. Some have moved past the bounds of reason and the bounds of what can be forgiven. But there does need to be. Sorry, again, this is part of me being just not able to properly ascribe this. You
don't have a thesaurus in front of you.
Yeah, I don't have a thesaurus in front of me, and I'm not a philosophical person who likes to talk about stuff like this. So ultimately, his whole point just comes down to there is no glory or satisfaction to be found in vengeance. No matter what, it will leave you hollow. Because what has driven you for so long, if and when it's finally achieved, you'll be left with nothing else. But there is more to you. I can see it. You do not need to simply be a tool of war, a tool of violence, and a tool of personal not satisfaction. What am I thinking? What word am I thinking of?
Self-satisfaction, maybe?
Huh?
Self-righteousness, maybe?
Yeah. You do not need to. You are more than what you are letting yourself be. And by not acknowledging this, you are blinding yourself to what you truly need to do and how you need to go about it.
He sort of sighs. You're too smart for me. I think I understand now what others feel when I preach to them.
Dirk sneezes.
He chuckles and says, I suppose I can tend to prattle. I hope I said at least something meaningful to you.
I'll need to contemplate on it, but I will, at the very least, give your words some weight.
It's all been a no-match.
I think, okay, at least this last part wouldn't be in Gnomish anymore, since it's sort of coming towards the end of the conversation. But I still disagree with you, fundamentally. I am nothing if not a tool. That was how I was raised. That was how I've always seen myself. I do not have the capacity to be anything greater. Every time I've tried to grasp something, to pull myself forward to become something else, I've come to regret it, or I've been rebuffed. This is all I'm good for, and that is all that I need. I am satisfied with my lot.
He looks to you, and as he hears these words, there's a silence as he looks to you. He kind of catches your gaze as his the kind of like slight smile he had earlier, it's kind of faded away as he listens to you speak. And though he doesn't say it, you can almost tell that he is unconvinced by your own words. Well, rather, I get the sense that Nyulrin himself... Am I correct in assuming Nyulrin himself does not fully believe what he is saying?
Oh no, he's fully indoctrinated. He doesn't think of himself as anything more than a tool, which is why he's not really afraid of death. He knows tools are expendable. He knows that a sword can break, right? But it's not a big deal. You'll just get a new sword. That's how he feels his relationship is to the gods, to his superiors. to a degree, even with like everyone in his life, even the party members.
Aaron will. She is actually like stops and like thinks on this. You know, at the start of this whole affair, I would have agreed with you, Nyulrin. Now I'm not entirely sure I do.
Perhaps you have been granted more insight than I. But I remain firm in my conviction.
We're all the sum of our choices, Nyulrin. We're all the subject of our we're all the subject of our choices. If you choose to be a tool for war, a tool of faith, and nothing else, then that's your choice to make. But there is more to you. You can be more to many people. Something tells me you already have. Whether you realize it or not. He just kind of glances down a moment before glancing up as he just says, whatever's about to come, whoever you're going to fight, whatever is going to happen. All I can say is, you can choose whether or not you can choose. Sorry, you get to choose. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the best way to put to the effect of, you can what you're going to be faced with the choice of what to do with your father. Nyulrin.
Choose your own destiny.
Yeah, basically, choose your own destiny. Are you going to become an instrument of vengeance that is only interested in short-term satisfying their own selfish desires? Will you be a tool of like proper change, justice, and like, you know, will you basically become a what's it called, the Dark Paladin, the like fallen paladin path, basically?
Oath of Vengeance or Oathbreaker?
But both, basically. Are you becoming Oath of Vengeance / Oathbreaker, or are you staying true to the more noble sides of being a paladin? That's kind of what the guy is trying to get to. How you choose to approach your father will be it's going to be a defining moment for Nyulrin. I think basically everyone he's talked to and had these kind of private moments have basically said, man, I can tell that you're there's a lot more to you than you yourself are even seeing. Or letting yourself see. That's kind of the point I've been trying to get to.
Yep, it across.
Yeah. Nyulrin can be much more than he lets himself be. He can be a great man that brings hope and happiness and faith to people, or he can become just as he is now, which is much more embittered and, frankly, I'd say pessimistic, or maybe even narcissistic if you think about it.
Oh, he's already a little bit of both. I actually wouldn't say that Nyulrin is narcissistic. He's even more than his. Yeah, apathetic would be the correct word.
Yeah.
He hates himself even more than he hates his own father. He does not like himself at all.
Well, there is narcissism doesn't necessarily mean like loving yourself. It means having an overinflated sense of self-worth, and even viewing yourself as like, oh man, I'm the worst person ever, is still like under that.
Oh, in that case, he is very narcissistic. He thinks he's like the worst Viewlin to have ever lived.
Isn't by definition that his dad?
Oh no, he think like in term. So he has a big thing where he feels like he's a failure in a lot of things, or most things that he does, and he feels like he's failed his name. And for his father, I mean, yeah, he doesn't disagree that that guy is also a failure. But like, it's a competition for number one worst villain.
Hmm.
But actually, I don't think Nyulrin even thinks of him as a villain anymore. Like, I feel like he only mentions him as his own father because it's simple, but he doesn't think of him that way. At least not outwardly.
Yeah. That's kind of ultimately the point that he's been trying to get at, that the Emperor was trying to get at, that pretty much anyone he's had these conversations with is trying to get at, is Nyulrin has the potential for being a really great man, one of the greatest who's ever lived, perhaps, but it'll only happen if he himself lets that happen. He's the only thing holding himself back, essentially. His own doubt and uncertainty about who he is. He said, as confident as he says he is when he says, "I know who I am." This whole conversation with the gnome has just been X to doubt, or like that meme of "I am a surgeon," where the doctor is just staring back at him. That's kind of the vibe I've been wanting to get here. Where this meme in Detroit. I am a weapon. I am a weapon.
All right, then. Ahran is actually going to ask the gnome if he'll be abiding Nyulrin's request and having a look at her soul. She is now a bit curious.
He is. When he looks to you, he just says, "Huh. No, this is interesting." And I am going to pause this scene here and swap over to the others because I don't have much to say for Ahran. And frankly, we've been with these two for a while. I'd like to give the others a...
I was hoping we'd have enough time for Kate to rejoin because her internet gave out.
Oh, I didn't know that she was still not here. Darn. Yeah, well, then I guess, yeah, we can do Ahran for a bit, but I don't really have much thought for this.
In a way, Ahran is kind of like Nyulrin in that she's been very much like Nyulrin, thought of herself as a tool for, Shay in this case. But now it's starting to be like, especially hanging out with Nyulrin and everyone saying, like, don't just be that. Ahran's starting to think, am I going about this wrong?
Be funny if Ahran got more out of these heart-to-hearts than Nyulrin does.
It's like secondhand smoking, that's somehow more damaging to your lungs than being the person actually smoking.
Wait, really?
Yes, because you don't have a little filter.
Right, because your body builds like mucus or something to shield it, whereas secondhand smoke, it doesn't.
Yeah, Ahran is taking in the secondhand smoke from Nyulrin's dialogues, and he's not affected, but she is.
I do hope it gets through to Nyulrin, though it's probably one of those things where it's not going to. It's not going to happen before, like, the actual confrontation.
I think he's just too fucking stupid, honestly. I think he's just actually stupid.
I don't know, like, I've never gotten the vibe that Nyulrin is stupid. Of course, it's how you want to play your character. but I've always gotten the idea of him. It's not stupidity; it's his sense of self was shattered, and now he doesn't listen. He doesn't believe when people say he can be more. I don't think that's stupid on his part. I think that's just trauma.
Hmm.
In a way.
Of course, I mean having a -1 to intelligence.
Yeah. -1 to intelligence, 0 wisdom.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't view it as like raw IQ. I don't know. I've always viewed stats kind of interesting. Is an interesting thing. I think ultimately you should play your character how you want to play them. So if you're a -5 intelligence barbarian, I think you should be able to just go. I might not be able to read, but I'm a pretty normal guy. I'm not talking like this. I'm not gonna talk like this.
Right.
If you want
I
to
mean,
play
he's not like 80 IQ stupid. More like,
Stubborn, stupid.
yeah, he's
stubborn. Stubborn is actually a very
he-
good description. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not an 80 IQ stupid. He's 140 stupid. Anything under my IQ of 150 is, well, you're all peons to me.
He's fucking Sheldon stupid.
Yeah. But no, that whole... I don't know why, but ever since the mental image of just, I am a weapon! I am a weapon! And just the gnome just I don't believe this for a second. It's just funny to me. Also, Flinger, my lord, that is looking amazing.
Thank you.
I need to know what tool you're using for that, effect, though.
The fur?
Yeah.
I just downloaded a brush, and I've just been experimenting with it. I wish it would kind of angle with where I am moving my the pen, instead of having to constantly angle the page, because that's something I'm not used to. But I am getting a very nice effect from it.
Yeah. Let's call it a 15-minute. Honestly, you know what, Flinger? Do you want to just run the scene without Faely? Because I think we can make some progress there. You're probably going to be the one leading the scene mostly.
Probably, yeah.
That feels wrong to say, but we also don't know how long it'll be till she's back, or if she even will be.
All right. Fair enough.
Do you guys want to take a short break and see?
We can take a break, see if she pops up, and if not, we can still probably continue.
Yeah, if she's not back at, let's call it 10 minute break. If she's not back by then, we'll continue. As a whole, though, that was a fun conversation, a fun interaction.
Oh yeah, very well done, you two.
Yeah, I was struggling there to be deep and profound and wise, because I am a dumbass.
Welcome to D&D.
Yeah, which is why I appreciate that I trust you guys. I like you guys enough, and you all respect me enough that when I say I'm too dumb to properly voice how smart this character is, imagine they said something really profound here.
Oh, I mean, I doubt you have a fucking 19 in wisdom like this druid probably has.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's the classic case of man, I'm writing for a super genius, but I'm a dumbass.
Exactly.
It's the same reason why I hate a lot of the Disney the recent showings of Thrawn in a lot of Star Wars stuff lately.
Oh god, I know what you mean.
Is they show him. Who here has seen the Ahsoka show?
I have not.
I've seen a little bit about it.
Niall, did you?
Nope.
Well, essentially, all you need to know is Thrawn never loses, but they did not do anything to show him being intelligent. The main cast, he's out in a different galaxy because of space whales, and while he's there, the main cast one of the heroes made a deal with the bad guys to get brought along. They tell Thrawn, and he's like, okay, yeah, go ahead. You know, I am a man. I uphold the deals and honor that the Empire's made. The Empire made a deal with you in exchange for this, so go ahead. But, you know, yeah. But he then is like, yes, I am going to be smart. I'm not going to allow the Jedi to simply regroup. I am going to follow them so that as they will find each other for me and I can eradicate them all at once. 2 squadrons of stormtroopers and 2 TIE fighters. Yes, that is enough. For 3 Jedi. And a Mandalorian warrior.
I mean, maybe a TIE bomber? Yeah, a TIE bomber I feel like would be enough.
Not even that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just launches all the missiles.
Okay, you think of that one, like, animation, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of that one animation.
Yeah, that
on carpet bombing an area.
Yeah, I call that animation, that specific animation, I call it the inverse plot armor, where they decide where whoever made that animation, like, it's a beautiful animation, but my god, the entire time it's happening, all I can think of is like, man, they are doing everything to fucking give a hand job to the Empire and completely neutering all of the capabilities of the rebellion.
I was going to say,
the fucking proton torpedoes getting just fucking, oh, I'm turning on a switch and suddenly they don't work. That's not, that is expressly what proton torpedoes don't do. They are unguided munitions. That's why they can't, and they can penetrate through interference. That's why they're so powerful, is because they just say, oh, you have a shield? Oh, you have some gravity array? Oh,
no, I did not understand what was happening when that happened. I'm like, wait, what just happened? Why did the torpedoes go away?
Yeah, there's also the fact that, like, seeker missiles, such as, like, what those were, don't exist in Star Wars because almost every starfighter, even just normal-ass TIEs, have inbuilt auto-hack software. Like, if there's wireless technology like that, it's just useless. Because at best case, they're just going to become completely inert as soon as they're fired, and worst case, they get turned on you, and then your systems immediately turn it back on them, and there's just this endless tug of war with this massive cluster of missiles that's just for anyone to just get, unfortunately, get close enough to get blown up, that it basically is just completely worthless as a tactic.
I was going to say, they do have some form of seeker missiles in Star Wars.
But those are droid piloted.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are the droid brain missiles we saw in...
That is specifically what those missiles are. They're not auto, like, heat-seeking missiles. They are piloted by droids, which is an interesting little thing in Star Wars. Though, to be fair, I'm not sure if this is still a thing in Disney era. It was part of the stuff of, like, the Rogue Squadron X-Wing trilogy books was basically explaining this, like, yeah, missiles and long-range missiles don't really exist anymore because they basically became completely useless as, like, countermeasures became so advanced and so ubiquitous in pretty much everything that they became effectively... It became a waste... Yeah, it became a pointless waste of munition space, leaving all missiles to basically be used by droid brains, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that interesting. The idea that tech got so good that it ruined some advanced weapon system, and by extension made combat more primitive.
Yeah, no, that is an interesting thing.
Interestingly enough,
how did we get to this conversation point?
Because the two of you have ADHD.
Yes.
What
were we talking about before?
We talked about Thrawn, and you mentioned carpet bombing with the bomber, and I said,
right.
That's not an actual thing they can do. and that someone was just completely wanking the Empire.
Okay. Right. Ignoring carpet bombing, then, just what we saw TIE bombers do in Episode 5, just flying along and dropping some big bombs that go boom.
Yeah, that's doable. But anyway, he doesn't, like, there's later on, there's the scene where it's like, the Jedi are approaching. We shot their ship. Okay, so the Jedi fought off the two squads. Oh, wait, sorry. The two TIE fighters were sent later. These are two separate groups. So the stormtroopers had no air support. There's two squadrons of stormtroopers dropped.
No air support.
3 Jedi. Yeah. It did not go well. Then, like, 20-30 minutes later, Thrawn sends 2 solitary TIE fighters to shoot at their shuttle so that they can't take off and rush to reach them because they're in a Star Destroyer that's preparing to make a jump to hyperspace so that they can return to the galaxy. And while this is happening, they manage to, like, do 2 strafes and, like, stop the shuttle, but they somehow lose both TIE fighters in the process, despite them having no anti-air capacity and their only ship being grounded. Because they, like, reflected a bolt back into the TIE fighter, and then the other TIE fighter...
Starfighter-sized blaster munition.
Then the other TIE fighter crashed because they're dumb. And then it's like, oh man, we should probably stop the Jedi. And Thrawn's like, no need. They're no threat. So the Jedi keep charging after them, and they use horses to start closing the distance. So Thrawn orders the order a bombardment of the area, and three people on horseback charging over an open field, a single solitary tower that has one entry point with an Imperial Star Destroyer hanging overhead. They don't get a single scratch. They just charge through.
I was going to say, I think we saw how horse cavalry charges work against artillery fire in the First World War.
Yeah. And they get inside, and Thrawn goes, we're loading cargo. Indescript cargo. We can't leave yet. Send 2 squadrons of stormtroopers to stop them. That'll work.
What is it with 2 squads? What is it with the guy in 2? Just send all I can spare is 2 squads.
His logic is, we don't need to kill the Jedi. That's entirely a separate matter to what's going on. We just need to delay them long enough for us to leave.
Not to say,
but
it sounded more like a delay tactic.
Yeah. But it's like, his idea is like, I'm trying to minimize my resource wasting. But all you can think is, like, if you just... these people... You're feeding people to the Jedi. You are feeding people to the Jedi. Just fucking have them plant bombs and, like, close every door and, like... do anything else.
I was going to say, yeah, something like, plant charges there and order the troops to fall back once engaged and blow the charges. Like...
Yeah. And ultimately, they end up, like, only one of the Jedi gets aboard, but then their shuttle, which had been disabled previously, suddenly appears, having fully fixed itself in, like, the span of an hour, maybe, after getting strafed by 2 TIE fighters without the shields on. Oh. And it's repaired the damage, it picks up the other 2 Jedi, it gives chase, and Thrawn then just jumps to hyperspace and escapes. Which, he wins, but it's like, I feel like you were in a perfect opportunity to have him do something really clever to fuck up the Jedi in the last possible second, and it would have been like, whoa, this guy's smart, he did something cool. And because as the Jedi are getting in close, they are literally, I'm gonna wait till like 15.
Right.
Anyway, as they're getting closer, they are like nose to back of the Star Destroyer. They are directly behind it. And when I saw this scene, and they're getting closer and closer, and all I could think of is like, I bet he's gonna like jettison all of the like waste and cargo and use it as basically like debris field behind the Star Destroyer, so that they have to break off. Because remember, it's Imperial protocol to jettison all the wasted scrap metal on a Star Destroyer.
Or
before-
jumping to hyperspace, yeah.
Yeah, that's the very thing Han used to escape the Empire once. Do the same thing in inverse, and suddenly it's like the Jedi are inches from getting aboard. They're about to win, and suddenly there's just shitloads of debris being flung at them. They're forced to break off, or else they would, slam directly into it. And that is enough for him to get away. And it's like, oh shit, that's actually a clever tactic. That was something smart.
So that's why the Empire does that.
Yeah, it's something smart. And that's the problem I had in that show, was Thrawn was treated as like this supervillain, like, oh man, if this guy makes it back to the galaxy, it's the worst thing ever. It'll be the worst thing ever. But we never see him do anything.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. They nerfed Thrawn so hard. What is it with Disney and nerfing their villains? Grievous, Thrawn.
Was Grievous Disney's fault?
Well, I guess
No, not really.
not really.
I felt like
But,
that was like before Disney.
That was before Disney.
That was Filoni.
Yeah, I do not like Filoni's take on Grievous.
Grievous was the unfortunate reality of like needing a villain of the week, and you can't do it to Dooku. You can't.
They did it to Dooku as well.
They
No,
did
no,
do
he
it to
actually
Dooku.
wins it in every fight he's in. He actually wins.
No,
Also
he
has his own
well,
show now.
Dooku?
Yeah, not Dooku.
You're thinking of Maul.
Maul, yeah.
Yeah.
Maul.
No,
Yeah.
Maul, Dooku. Okay, he doesn't win every time because like he gets outplayed by Hondo and the pirates, but there's also just a case of like he's disarmed, completely surrounded, and he might have been able to fight his way out of that, but I think he probably could have. But I feel like in his mind he was weighing the odds, and there was, ooh, that's a good color. That looks good. Anyway, in terms of the actual fights he has, right up until the very last episode, you don't see him actually lose a fight. He doesn't lose a fight. The only time he ever, he runs, but it's kind of a case of, he doesn't need this battle. There's no point to it. I don't know. The only time we've seen him get in a proper, there's only 2 times we see him properly fight in the series. There's one time where he is attempting to kidnap the Chancellor, in which he pretty handily bodies Anakin, and then there is a second. I think Anakin gets some close hits in, but he handles him pretty well. And then there's the final time where they're investigating Sifo Dyas, and the whole time Dooku basically puts both Obi-Wan and Anakin on the defensive the whole fight. And then there's the time he absolutely bodied several Night Sisters. And bodied Savage and Asajj. He does good. Dooku stacks bodies in that show.
True, he does, but I know I could have made Grievous impressive.
Yeah, they needed a villain of the week. They had Ventress, they had Dooku. They used both for this purpose, but Ventress faded away for a little while, and they put her on a redemption arc, meaning there was only one villain. They got to a point where there was only one villain they could let lose, and that was Grievous.
Yeah.
Anyway, All right, back to the game. Faely is not back. Can we?
I'll add her.
Anyone? Yeah. Has anyone had contact with them? Because if they're not able to come back, I might wrap the session up here pretty quickly. Because with Max also not here, that's half the party gone.
All right. No response from Faely.
We'll keep going for a little bit, because I'd like to make some progress tonight. So yeah, ultimately, her point, Kit here basically says that Ahran, there was a good bit of doubt and uncertainty, but I am seeing finer shades of white and fine. I'm seeing shades of orange and clear sea blue, kind of peeking out from the surface, a warmth within you that is not necessarily one that's not necessarily driving out the shadows, but one I sense might come at the cost of the darker hues. He does say he's not entirely sure what he means by that. As he kind of gets into his little trance as he's sensing you, he makes mention of this, that there are brighter hues beneath the darker hues. That Ahran, it was once a fine tapestry, dark as the night, speckles of twilight and shades of vermilion and deep indigos. But slowly, speckles of light have begun to appear like a rising dawn. Orange yellows and orange yellows and sea blue. Eventually, there will come a time where you will be forced to make a decision between the sea and the shadow.
Does seem somewhat like perturbed this, as she is nods somewhat. I think
he kind of leaves it off by saying, but one path leads to light and life, while the other leads to a void. Not death, but almost loss of what I do not know. I sense great pride and satisfaction in that path, however. It is not a path you would be unsatisfied with. But it is a path where you would lose all color of your being. I do not know what to make of this. He seems genuinely confused and vaguely concerned when he looks to you. His eyes kind of scan you up and down. Are you wearing your Cheyenne symbol open?
no, she is wearing her. I was gonna say I haven't updated her token, but she is wearing the more covert armor and outfit.
Makes sense. Then yeah, as he kind of looks you up and down, he seems perturbed by you. There's, like he says, there's a rising sun that would bring the rising sun in the colors of the sea, bringing with it new life, new identity, new purpose. But there's also a darkness, a shadow that made up your prior being that grows to encompass it all, losing yourself within a void. This void is not necessarily a bad thing. but it is a loss of something. As he says, he has no idea what this actually entails. He has never seen anything like this before. He is interested and almost worried. You can definitely see that he seems not afraid of you, but more fearful for you, if that makes any sense.
Right, concern for Ahran's sake.
Yeah.
Making it sound like I'm going to sacrifice myself.
I do not know. Sacrifice something, perhaps. Your life, maybe. But something else, I think. He kind of looks between the two of you as he just says, I can see that both of you will one day be faced with a choice between two paths. In your case, he looks to Nyulrin as he says, in your case, it is a path between righteousness and folly. I'm not going over Nyulrin's stuff. I've made my point there, and we've gone in circles.
Yeah.
But for you, it is a choice between identity and lack thereof. I do not know what this means. I wish I could tell you, but yeah.
Ahran nods.
This is a thing for Flinger for like his design. Niall, what magic items do you currently have equipped?
I'm not adding
Yeah,
magical items, just the armor and weapon.
Well, no, that's what I mean. One of them might be important because he has like a shroud cloak from the.
The magical items I have are the Plate of the Crusader, the armor, Sentinel Shield, the Faith Hammer, Gauntlets of Righteous Might. There's a lot.
Yeah, you got
Amulet of the Devout and the Cloak of Stella.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh boy!
Nice to know before the line art was done.
I wasn't thinking about that until just now.
Well, I'm not being paid for it, so I'm not going back to change it.
What if
Very
I was?
reasonable.
What if I did?
Very reasonable.
Too late. I got like other things I want to move on to.
Fair enough. By the way, though, it does look really good.
Yes,
do
it does look very good.
think you may want to change the Talbert color, though. Something about that.
I was gonna have it like it's a fucking red because, look, white plus blood over time.
I think he'd be washing himself. His clothes.
I don't care how many times that thing gets washed. This thing's being dyed by the amount of blood it's been spilt with.
I could see Nyulrin being very particular, and if it got too dull, he'd buy a new one. Given, the vanity and stuff.
Maybe.
No.
He's kind of broke. I think he's like the most broke party member.
There, he gets that.
Okay,
Because white just seems a bit too clean. Also, I'm gonna change
what about
the
a deeper blue? Or like a
I'm gonna change
deeper
this
blue?
symbol as well to something else.
Let me look up what holy symbols there are for Aegon. I know the hourglass is one.
I was told specifically to keep the hourglass. I'm just going to redesign it.
Sounds
Anyway, we're off topic.
Yeah, we're off topic. Well, we have half the party missing, so this is mostly just a roleplay session. And with that in mind, he just says, the two of you both have your decisions to make. When they will come, I do not know. I can only hope that the two of you will make a decision you won't regret. and become the best versions of yourself, whatever that means. Now, and I think that we've all I think we've said our piece enough times at this point. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Feel as if we'll need it.
What are your names? Not know if I've asked.
Ahran would. I'm trying to think, how much does Ahran want to give these druids?
I mean, he peered into your soul there.
Yeah, she'll say Ahran.
Nice to meet you. And you, my very tall dragonborn friend?
Nyulrin Vulin.
Ah. When you say Nyulrin, his eyebrow perks as he just says, "Ah. So that's your father."
The very same, much to my shame.
Well, I see why you want to kill him. And even I, but... yeah, sorry, we're just gonna keep going in circles. Yeah, he gets it. But still, you know, make the right choice. Anyway. Let's switch over to Dirk. As the two, Dirk, you and Faely had been searching for a little while. Eventually, Faely decided she was not going to... I don't know why I brought you guys to this map. Faely decided she was going to find an area that was fairly clear of the forest, one of the burnt-out sections, and just wait there. She was getting uncomfortable wandering the woods.
Fair enough. Leave me with everything. Per usual.
Dirk does all the work in this party. Frankly, he should be getting paid overtime for this.
We're getting paid?
Yeah, we're getting paid?
That's my goal.
Yeah. I'll just... how do you want to try and find him? Is there... What would Dirk be looking for? How would he be going about it?
You may need to remind me of what the Nyulrin looks like. I mean, I'm sure that's his token right there.
Yeah. He was a tall, relatively young elven man, ranger by his look, and he had previously encountered him in Lenchester, where he had helped poison a blight tree that was growing within the city, stopping the city from facing a potentially fatal outbreak.
Ah, yes, I remember that.
And his dad was Kerrison.
Yeah. Suppose I would, I don't know, look for somebody who's more active than usual. Like I know his father has essentially been killed. Sorry, not the right one. Recently died because of the fucking Deathsinger was his title?
Gravesinger.
Gravesinger. So, knowing a thing or two about personal grudges, he's looking for someone who is very restless. Even if he's like trying to play it off, he's someone who just doesn't want to sit down.
Go ahead and roll perception. You know what he looks like, so you'd see him. But you'd know him if you saw him.
9.
As you're kind of walking, as Dirk is wandering, he catches a few eyes from some of the nearby Kaelwyn, but they're, to Dirk's surprise, they're not the usual like glares of contempt or like suspicion. They're almost welcoming. He occasionally as he walks by, some of the Kaelwyn call him, kind of bow their head towards him and refer to him they call him Shiren, rather.
Dirk.
Saying it in greeting when he passes by.
Dirk doesn't give it much attention or thought, just smiling, nodding his head, still carrying his smoker behind him.
I imagine as he's going, his ear does twitch a little as he peers over, as he sees a pair of young Kaelwyn kids watching from the bushes, kind of whispering to each other.
About like towards Dirk.
Yeah, towards Dirk, watching him.
Dirk just kind of like spots them, kind of like goes up to them. Hey.
Hi.
Looking for an elf, blonde hair. I think he has a mark over one of his eyes. Nyulrin, I believe his name was. Might be a little broody.
Oh,
Any of you sprouts seen him?
They kind of look to each other as they just say, they kind of like look to each other, almost in kind of trying to gauge the other's thoughts, before one of them says, I think I saw him down by the river. Down.
Low fruit, I know.
Yeah. I think I saw him down by the river.
Thanks. And he's actually gonna open up his smoker and pull out like a like some smoked fish or something. Oh no, wait, there was like some elk, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll pull out some smoked elk and hand it to the kids.
They eat it. These ain't fucking vegetarian druids. Animals eat animals in nature.
And I can't wait to see their reaction to the fire salts.
The kid, as soon as he bites in, just
imagine it's like this, like all of a sudden he's breathing fire.
just screams as the other kid is like cat coughing. The other one looks up to you and just asks,
Spicy stuff. Turn your make your give you a heartier guts.
The little one looks up to Dirk and asks if he could carry him. The gnoll is quite big and quite strong, perfect for piggyback rides.
Dirk will kind of clamp his mouth shut, still kind of like having a smile on his face, though it kind of like twitches a bit as he's kind of like internally a little taken aback, like, this is a weird feeling that I'm not used to.
What, getting appreciated by people?
Yes.
Yeah, you've been like everyone you've been seeing so far has been like happy to see you. The kids seem almost when the kid finally like stops chewing and is like kind of like calm down his tongue. He asks they begin kind of pestering Dirk excitedly about, is it really true you saw Athos? What was it like seeing the big giant tree? Did you go inside? You know what? All they're seemingly fairly interested in hearing Dirk's tales.
Dirk will snort, but he'll still have a smile as he then, for the sake of brevity, kind of begins like almost boasting, puffing out his chest, and yeah, we'll just pick one of them up and start giving him a piggyback ride on his shoulders, as he still kind of like, all right, which way towards the river?
Over there by the water.
Over there by the water. But yeah, he'll boast, he'll brag a bit, make everything sound a little bit more theatrical, and especially play up his part.
One of them mentions. One of them mentions. Actually, sorry, I was trying to figure out. Do you tell any of the other stories you've had in your time?
Probably.
Okay. Whatever ones you tell, I am quite sure they will be thrilled with.
And that is how you gouge a man's eyes out.
Wow! I didn't know a knife could bend that way. I didn't know an elbow could bend that way. I've got to try it on my brother.
Oh my god!
The other kid just goes, I can't wait to start a criminal gang.
Oh my god!
Violence! Violence! Violence!
He's corrupting the youth.
Yeah.
Raising little terrors for their parents to raise.
As Dirk, you're kind of continuing on.
I don't want
You're-
to be
you're
a druid. I want to be a criminal.
Be a druid. I want to be it. But Dirk, as he's walking along, his ear twitches to the sound of, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like aggressive grunting or like exertion being given. Like someone is pushing themselves harder than normal. You can hear what sounds like thumping of like a blade against wood or against stone. And as Dirk draws near, he would see not.
I will kind of like drop the kids off. All right, fuck off. Get back to your parents or something.
When you say fuck off, one of them does like a gasp.
Dirk does not care.
All right. Oh, come on, Tanya. Let's fuck off. Say that. And they kind of scurry away.
You're gonna use it when you're older anyway.
Yeah. As you round the corner, you see Nyulrin down by the riverbank. His saber in hand, as he's striking a kind of shaped dummy. He must have used some amount of magic to like bend the vines and earth to create a dummy for him to practice on, as he is quite aggressively and fairly wildly swinging into the target. And go ahead and roll insight or perception at your leisure.
Let me see. I think my perception's better. Yeah. 14.
Peering at his blade, he has, and the target itself, he has swung this thing so much, he has blunted his sword, as he has just done non-stop striking this target. And it was likely at one point fairly reminiscent of a human form, but it has just been sliced and gouged and cut until it's barely more than just a mound vaguely representing a body for him to hit. His posture is ragged, and you can tell, like, he still bears a great deal of like grace and elven regality, but even you can tell that he is afraid. Even if like his face appears completely composed, other than he is not in a good headspace, and that is clear.
Dirk will step closer, kind of like stopping the smoker at a distance, and he'll actually creep up a little closer until he's almost right behind him.
Are you trying to sneak up?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead and roll stealth.
Not a wise move, but you know what? 16.
As far as you can tell, he has completely not noticed you, as he appears completely absorbed in his own world.
After a moment, Dirk will inhale. Not gonna get much done with a brittle blade.
As he's swinging, he's like mid-swing, just almost like just.
I was prepared for him to go like swing backwards.
No, he doesn't. But as he swings, he like stops, flinches a little before looking back as he asks, "What are you talking about?"
Dumbass. Look at your blade. Thing's practically useless.
His eyes slowly pull off of the target to the sword as he examines it, and just lazily lets it slide out of his hand and kind of clatter against the ground. He kind of sighs before he turns towards you. He seems to be waiting for you to speak.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say something.
No, he turns towards you and is like, he's just standing there looking towards you, clearly waiting for you to say what you came here for.
Here to see how well you're holding up, or at least, better to say, how well you're able to move.
Well, the one thing you could see from the one thing you could tell from his sparring, he's still extremely agile and quick, as he just says, I'm ready to leave this place. Every second spent here is another wasted.
Oh, I agree. I'd very much like to get this done a lot sooner rather than later. Any more minute and they'll have more time to prepare whatever the fuck they want. But you're prepared to leave, but you're clearly ain't ready for the fight.
And what is that supposed to mean? You don't think I'm capable enough? I could put an arrow.
You're capable enough. You survived this battle. What I'm more talking about is when it comes to the time, are you going to act like an idiot? Get yourself killed and possibly others? Or are you going to actually think what you're going to do when you see him? And I don't mean how you're going to kill him. I mean, how are you going to handle the entire situation? You're not going to be the only one going after this fucker.
I'll do what's needed to I will do what's needed to avenge my father.
That's great.
And
but if you act foolishly, you're going to do nothing but add another body in the ground.
You don't think I can handle it?
I think your hot-headedness will get in the way.
He kind of scoffs as he looks away towards the river, as he just says, "What would you know about it?"
Fucker, I am angry almost all the time. I spend a good chunk of my life angry.
And
I'm still angry. I'm still punching things. But I at least know what I'm looking for. At least I know what I'm looking towards. Even beyond that. Music's cutting out a bit.
No, that's me. This might be my headset that's being weird. Can you talk for a minute? Just like say some stuff. Oh, that's unfortunate. My headset is making like popping, cracking noises when there's audio coming through.
Oh, shit.
Yep, it's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a very like if you've like crinkled like paper. It's like that noise.
The popping, yeah.
But it's extremely low.
Is it manageable?
Yes, I think I can push through it.
Okay.
Honestly, it's kind of got a rhythm to it, so it's not too bad.
It's making beats.
Them sweet beats.
It's kind of that's kind of how it's sounding. It's just do.
It might be like some music or something.
I don't know. It almost sounds like drums. It's weird. It's definitively like audio cracking and popping though.
Mm.
Hopefully it's not a long-term thing. Anyway, but yeah, he just basically his whole thing is, what do you know about it? I am more than capable of avenging my own father. Don't need someone else telling me how to do it or how to think.
You're so blind. You're English. You're letting your anger blind you. You barely even notice that your weapon dulled. Were you gonna just run in there with a dull weapon?
I would have noticed.
Like you noticed me. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do this, but I'm telling you that you need to think while you're doing this. Clearly. Don't let this bullshit cloud what's in front of you. Instead, use it.
He's quiet a moment before he just begins to kind of laugh as he just says, I'm getting moral advice. I'm getting, would this be spiritual advice, moral advice? Mental advice?
I don't
Emotional?
I don't fucking know. I'm not trying to.
I'm
not trying to give spiritual or moral advice.
That was out of character.
No.
Yeah, he just chuckled. He almost chuckles as he just says, "I really must be at my lowest point if I'm getting emotional advice from a gnoll."
Oh, fuck emotions. Like I said, you can use your emotions, but you let it do what it was just doing now. You're only gonna get yourself or others killed. I'm not saying quell it, bury it, or forget about it. But if it becomes a fucking problem, then you're not going to, then others will suffer. I'm not saying that out of the goodness of my heart. If I fucking die because of you, I'm haunting you.
He looks to you and just says, well, then I need to make sure you aren't in a position to haunt me.
Tough shit.
He looks down at his dulled blade as he just says, when the time comes, promise me you'll let me finish the job.
I'm good at promises when it comes to killing people, unless I'm the one promising to kill the fucker. But I see you definitely need it. So I'll try and save an opening for you.
He asks when we're departing.
I don't fucking know. Depends on how long Nyulrin and Ahran are going to take talking.
Meanwhile, in the great weird, and that is the story of my family. Now then,
that is my 103rd ancestor. Only 500 more to go.
God.
All right, now then, Fenya, I think you wanted to talk about how you earned that scar on your elbow. Yes. When I was 13 years old. Back to Dirk.
Dirk will sigh. Look, I know I'm not the best when it comes to this, and I'm not good with my emotions either. I just direct my hatred towards where my enemy is, and well, usually works out. But I know when to direct it and when to use it, and the music is getting louder. There we go. Sorry, I had to tell the bard shut up a bit. I know when to use my anger. You let that take over, or get the better of you, as many would say. Consequences and all that shit. You'll die an unsatisfying and what's the word? Fulfilling death.
He just is. He doesn't much say anything, but he doesn't like. He remains fairly trying to stay fairly focused or stoic. He acknowledges he recognizes that he's heard you, but he's still himself staying pretty quiet. As he just says, "I think it's time. I see your point."
Dirk will quirk an eyebrow.
Look, I can control. You see him just take a very, very deep breath as he just says, I can control myself. When we confront him, I will be ready. I will not be a burden. This much I promise.
Dirk will kind of inhale, just... Alright. Break that promise and I'm punching you.
He kind of smirks a little as he just says, you'll lose the hand that strikes me.
Good luck with that.
He picks up the blunted blade. He just says,
I would recommend getting that changed out.
Yeah. He says he'll see it. He says no. He'll have it sharpened. But yeah, he does just say on the topic of losing your hand, he just says, "No, you better hope I can get it in one swing. Blunted blades can be quite painful."
Like you think I don't fucking know? I've been stabbed and slashed so many goddamn times, I'm surprised I don't have a disease. Oh, wait a minute, no, I died once. Probably all those diseases died with me.
He seems confused when you mention that you've died once, but then again,
he'll hold up like his battered cloak and just point at the scar wound over his heart.
Yeah. Honestly, though, these druids, they probably have resurrection magic, so they've probably seen one or two people who've died and been brought back. So.
Died once. Didn't like it. It's overrated.
Death usually is. I don't intend to, I don't intend to anytime soon. And I'll make sure you don't either.
Yeah, I'm hard to kill. I'll take care of myself. You better take care of yourself.
He just kind of gives a grunt, a little, just of an acknowledgement. As he looks to you as he says, "Shall we?"
him, I guess. Do you have any flour around this place? I have something in mind with this. And he kind of like swigs the Lembus milk. Or like shakes it a bit.
As he's walking, he does kind of scratch his chin as he just says, "Well, we don't grow much in the way of crops up here. We usually, or at least, no, they grow. This is kind of like Scotland type environment. Do they grow much? I know they don't grow much in Scotland, but they have to have some.
Yep. They grow plenty of things in Scotland. The primary food stuff of Scotland is oats. That's the staple food.
Yeah. No, they have. Yeah, they say we have some oats and barley. We're not much more focused on like most of the diet of like the Kaelwyn are like meats and hunted stuff, as well as like livestock and fish, as well as like foraged berries and various like roots and mushrooms, and they're much more. They have a fairly low population, as they prefer more towards like foraging and livestock rearing than wide-scale agriculture. Not that they don't have any, but it's more like cultivated patches of gardens.
Do you have flour?
Barley flour, they would, probably.
Yeah, they'd have some barley.
Fucking good. I need some.
Barley and rye. What are you planning?
I can make bread out of this milk.
Bread!
I know that's a reference to something.
Delicious
No.
in Dungeon.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Really?
I've never watched it.
Bread. Well, either way, he just says, "Well, we can pack more of the Limbus milk if you're interested. It's a good travel meal."
Oh yeah, but milk sours over time. Quite quickly, especially at a fucking
He says
awful humidity.
Humidity. He says there's like a cold chill through the air.
Well, there's still smoke and fire going through. That's gonna create water. That's gonna make this place feel like a fucking marshland.
As he's walking, he does say Limbus milk can hold for a very long time. Doesn't spoil, not easily. It takes about a year for it to spoil.
All right, well,
making it a very good travel ration.
Well, now put it in something that's dried. That will last longer. Call it Lembus bread.
He just says that is a Sylv elfin secret. He says, kind of sarcastically, that is a thing. So, yeah. Spending the milk into bread, essentially, I guess.
Yeah.
Either way. Ahran, Dirk, Ahran and Nyulrin have arrived. Jakar and Faely are here also, but they're both pretty sleepy, so, Faely's keeping quiet. Jakar's, he's napping on top of the smoker.
Get the fuck off!
Y'all heading out?
Yep.
Alright. Boy, we yapped for a while today.
We yapped. We did so much yapping.
But it was good. I liked all the interactions today.
No, there were some good ones.
By the way, Nyulrin looks so cool in the stream that you're showing.
Ah, thank you. Hold on, let me zoom out a bit.
I feel like he's also aged a lot, right? He doesn't have a baby face anymore. He's aged by 20 years.
I do think
that's just my style.
Yeah, Honestly, I do think you might want to consider like trying to give him a bit more of a muzzle because his face looks he looks chunky.
Well,
I
it's
think this
angled.
fits. Yeah.
It's angled at a moment. Dude, I have slaved over that fucking face.
That's fair. That is fair. It looks good
Hold
though.
on, let me see if I can.
It does look very good. I think I'm actually gonna say in RP that he looks much older than he is. Like the battles and the stress have aged him.
Either way, your group has headed out. To your knowledge, they after a few days of travel, you are able to slip through the caves once again. The Imperial forces who had been manning them had seemingly pulled back have strangely pulled back. Actually, question. How do you want to, yeah, actually, I'd say you make contact with the Kaelwyn Rangers. There's about 5 of them in total.
Let's say, real quick, if I can direct you towards the stream. I have slaved over this face.
Fair enough. But yeah, the Kaelwyn reports that he seems to be heading somewhere within the domain of the orcs. He has stopped heading south and is now heading kind of west, kind of north. He's no longer heading south. He's now heading kind of northwest. They don't know exactly where he's going though. They don't know what's in that area.
Hang on, we have a map. Can we look to see if that lines up with any of the entrances to the Underdark?
There is one. Yeah, there is one over here, which might be where he's heading. Based on the path that they've described, I'm going to draw it out in pink. He's headed south, and after a certain while, he started heading northwest. Though he is heading in the rough direction of the Underdark access point, he doesn't seem to... You don't think he's heading there.
Yeah, he could have gone for the one to the south, and I think that would have been quicker. Let me just...
He's staying in the...
Yeah, it would have been quicker to go for that one, so he's clearly not going for the Underdark.
Are you accounting for the terrain? Because
he's crossing through the mountains.
Mountains either way. It's actually even rougher this way. So...
Yeah.
He must be going for Mordana?
Sounds like dwarves.
What is in Mordana?
Mordara is... Go ahead and roll history, anyone who's interested. You've all been in the region long enough that it's probably something... You guys have been within the region long enough that you may have been able to hear about stuff like this. So even Dirk can roll.
Nah.
Yeah. If he has heard, he's not been interested. Alright. Mordara is a petty kingdom upon the island of Brethane. It is kind of if I had to give a national comparison, it's kind of the Wales.
Wow, that's more attention than the Welsh have ever gotten in recent memory.
Yeah, they are a relatively small principality that kind of abrupt. They have a sizable mountain border with the Kaelwyn, which has kept the Kaelwyn back. They are fairly unremarkable, largely infertile hills and valleys, with only a single major notable city being Mordara. It is kind of jostled between Brethane and the Kaelwyn spheres of influence over the centuries, as the Brethanians have used their lands as kind of a gateway to attack the Kaelwyn, and the Kaelwyn have used their lands as a gateway to attack the Brethanians. Both sides always have interest in getting access to the others. As once you get past the mountains, it's fairly flat and easy to move forces through. But because of this, both sides are interested in keeping it as a buffer state, essentially. And so it has always just kind of existed in a state of perpetual getting occupied and then getting abandoned as time goes
see.
on.
I see.
It is currently ruled by a queen, it is currently ruled by a queen, though a petty queen by the name of Lady Isha.
Lady Isha, Queen of Murdan.
It is notable that that the kingdom has a sizable half-orc population.
Given their proximity to orc lands, it makes sense.
Yeah. It is known that the Moor in Mordara refer to the moors of which the city is built upon.
Right.
What is their relationship with sheep?
What?
The joke is the joke. I don't think he's familiar enough with the Welsh to know about that joke.
Oh, sheep fuckers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have several druids, so I'm sure it's happening.
No! Just no.
Oh god! Oh god! Wild. That just put a whole other thought in my head. Wild shaping. That's probably happened. Is just like some fucking guy was just like, man, I'm in the mood. Wild shapes into a bull and goes into a fucking field.
Have you read the most recent Game of Thrones book?
No. What fucking
That's-
Winds of Winter? Fucking
The one before Winds of Winter.
Feast for Crows. What, like 18
I
years
think
ago?
I think it's Feast for Crows, but the one of the wildling characters, a warg, does basically that. He wargs into animals to fuck with them.
Fuck with them or to fuck with them?
What do you think?
Yeah,
Given the
very,
context.
very direct. Very direct. He specifically likes warging into wolves that are in heat.
He wargs into female wolves.
Yeah. During mating season. He's a freak, yeah.
Good God. This is information I did
Lord.
not need to know or needed to be recorded.
No, this sounds about right for George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, Martin's a freaky guy.
Oh yeah, we're being recorded.
Oh.
Oh God, George R.R. Martin,
This
please
isn't
don't
the
sue.
weirdest
I didn't
fucking
mean
shit
it.
on the
I
YouTube.
didn't write the books. Neither did anyone here. Blame JRR.
Either way, he seems to be heading in that general direction. Don't you fucking dare draw a pentagram. Okay, I don't know why you were drawing a star. I don't know why I assumed that. I guess probably from the logic of like we're discussing like crazy things and what would be the craziest thing you could do when on stream. Why did I say not to do it and then immediately started doing it myself?
Because you're right.
Rules for thee, not for me.
I'm the DM. I can do things like that. But yeah. As you all make your way south, I think I'm going to call it here, but I also do kind of want to get to the setup of what's about to happen.
You do the setup.
I also... Yeah. Huh? Alright.
Doing the setup shouldn't be too
That's a good
much.
idea. Yeah, okay. I'll just slightly speed it along. I had planned for this to be a little slower, but without... I've been planning for this to take up most of the session, so we're going to just kind of speed things along a little.
Alrighty.
But it's also mostly just... It was always going to be a more roleplay heavy session. But yeah, as you all make your way south into the lands of Urdenzal, the domain of the orcs stretches out before you. It doesn't take you particularly long before the orcs begin making their presence known. Though, to your surprise, you spot ahead of you a contingent of Brythanian knights. They appear to be on the search for something. You can see one of them, you can see multiple sigils of various knightly houses that, having spent significant time in Lenchester, you've probably come across them. You might not recognize them immediately at a glance, but they're all familiar to you. And given that they are mostly humans, there's a gnome or two among their number. There's a pair of gnomes, a dwarf, and a half elf, but majority of the 12-man force are human.
Interesting.
But they do bear the colors of the kingdom of. They do bear the colors of the kingdom of Brythane.
Do we recognize any of the knights' heraldry or anything? Like, are these the king specifically loyal to the king, or?
Go ahead and roll.
All right. Let's roll them bones. What am I rolling?
I think we said history. Or perception. Let's see what you can spot.
13.
Among their number, you do actually spot a familiar knight. You would spot Knight Carver. This guy, you haven't talked to him in a while, but if you remember, he was the guy.
I remember him. He was from the almost assassination.
Yeah, and he was the guy at the door who he pulled his weight in that fight.
Yeah, Knight Carver.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do in this game is like have a guy who was originally just a generic NPC who does something good enough that I'm like, yeah, fuck it, he's named now. I'm giving him art. Yeah, you do spot the heraldry of Knight Carver, a crossed long axes overlooking overlooking like an elk skull.
Right, and we know they're the king's men.
He does not appear to have spotted all of you. The Kaelwyn seem fairly on edge as they kind of get low. One of them, you see two of them like draw arrows and kind of knock the bows. They don't draw, but they're expecting trouble.
Don't worry, these ones. That's I recognize that. That's Knight Carver. You remember Dirk from the throne room?
Dirk kind of like ponders and like it happened a while ago.
It was the guy who was remarkably competent at stabbing people with a sword.
Wasn't I turned into a monkey for that?
Just at the end.
Yeah, I wonder why it's kind of hazy.
All right, fair enough. Okay, right.
Nylan, as you guys are having this conversation, Nylan just asks, "What are Brythanian knights doing in Urdgensall?"
Probably fulfilling the will of His Majesty. I've been in contact with him, and he's managed to slip away from the noose of Nyulrin's father. I did say, I believe I've mentioned that Brythane does not necessarily want this war, for one, in your nation's history.
He says, he reminds you that he was present for the whole coup attempt alongside his father. He's aware of the king not being necessarily against them. His question is why they're here, not if they can be trusted.
Well, we can ask them. Ahran will step out of cover and make her way down. Knight Carver, it's been a while.
He turns, and as he puts his hand on the hilt of his sword as he calls out, Stop right there. Stop right there. Who in the name of the gods are you?
Dirk will step out.
He spots you and gives a nod towards you, but keeps a suspicious eye on the strange cat woman approaching him.
Dirk will kind of like see this happen. He's like, "Oh wait, he wasn't there for that." Dirk begins just like chuckling to himself.
Friends of his.
You know the one
Shadowy,
shadowy
reaching up to grab his.
Dirk will hold her down. You know the very secretive cleric.
Hissing and scratching at Dirk.
You know the very secretive kind of hooded guy.
Yes.
This is him now.
Shut up!
He stares blankly a moment.
I know. They've got tits.
Shut up, Dirk!
That's clearly the most important thing here.
Well, since the cat's out of the... God damn it. Yeah. What I was going to say is we're friends of His Majesty. Arn's tail is twitching annoyedly.
Right. What about you, Nyulrin? What are you doing during this little exchange?
He's just shaking his head.
Are you revealing yourself, or are you staying low?
He's gonna reveal him. He can't really stay low, even if you wanted to.
Yeah. When he sees all of you, he does calm down in recognition as he just says, What in the name of the 12 are you doing out here?
Hunting a what are they called? Undersinger?
Singer.
Grave singer.
Grave singer, yeah.
Grave singer. Hunting a grave.
When he says that, you see a slight look of.
She.
I said they. Did I not?
I heard he.
No. Anyway, as you bring this up, so he does say, hey, you're after an undersinger too. Fancy to bet we're after the same man.
Anderthon?
Aye.
Huh. What, well... So I suppose he is the leader of the cult that tried to assassinate your lead. It would make sense you'd be out hunting him.
He kind of comments, we received some we were contacted by a number of several Imperial Rangers having spotted him out on patrol. He then kind of just says, I know what you're thinking, given everything going on back in the capital. But these people, the Rangers have been here the Rangers are part of the local garrison. They've been here a while. He knows that they're on the up and up. Whatever's happening else recently, these guys aren't part of it.
Nice.
So when they called in a necromancer active in spotting a necromancer moving with a small horde of undead thralls and asked for backup, we didn't hesitate.
Right. He's already raised himself reinforcements. Wonderful.
You would note that you've been tracking him for a little while. You know that he's had them for a while. He's had them since fleeing the grove, essentially.
Okay, he took some forces with him.
Yeah, he picked up corpses along the way. He wasn't moving
Alright.
on his own. He had a small entourage with him. But
Makes sense.
even a small entourage of undead minions is enough to draw attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
He comments out that the Noelathon. There it is. Yeah. He comments that the Rangers tracked him to Noelathon. He says it when he says the name. There's a slight he slightly hesitates when he says the name, Noelathon. This is something you all. I'm not going to let any of you roll history for. That is something none of you would know of.
Not familiar with that place.
He kind of gets a little quiet a moment before he just says, "It's a bit of a..." He just kind of pauses a moment before he explains. Noelathon was an elven necropolis, the city of the dead. Back when this land was part of the ancient elven dominion. Back before the Imperium purged the islands of the elves, or at least most of them. Those that we didn't drive north, at least. He just kind of looks to you as he just says, "I think we can all imagine that a powerful necromancer heading to an elven necropolis is a bad omen."
Right. No, that's certainly not good if he reaches it.
He kind of says by now he's likely already there. The Rangers didn't appreciate their odds of trying to take him on directly. They were hoping we'd be enough backup. Frankly, I was pessimistic about our odds.
Well, we're here now, so the odds should be a bit better.
Aye, with the 6 of you, we should be all right. Sorry, with the 6 of you, we might stand a chance. Huh?
Is there 6 of us?
Sorry, the 5 of you.
Oh,
rather.
yeah.
5 of you.
No.
was
We
gonna
have
say-
the guy with us. We have the.
You have Nyland plus 5
Yeah.
additional. There's 6 Kaelwinds with you, and he doesn't seem to know. The Kaelwind have not revealed themselves.
Fair enough.
Yeah, with the 5 of you serving as reinforcements, maybe we'll have a chance. Though he still feels a little anxious about all of this.
All right. Being cautious around necromancers is understandable. I think we can pull it off.
Yeah. He says we will need to keep a low profile. The orcs are always rather. The orcs are always temperamental when it comes to traveling through their lands. Let's hope that they can hear reason. When he says that, there's a slight sneer of just disgust when he's at the implication of orcs being reasonable.
I mean, I'm sure they don't want a necromancer trespassing on their lands.
All orcs are interested in is a good battle. I'm sure they would find fun in it. At this, Nyland does kind of step forward as actually no, he's probably still staying low. There's enough
Right.
tension between the Kaelin as is for him to not between the two kingdoms for them not to for him to not blow up this for a fucking snide comment.
Yeah.
Though Nyulrin, you can see that Nylan is visibly growing impatient watching this exchange. He is currently hiding or taking cover behind foliage and rocks near you.
Ahran will, glance back towards Nyla and, cock her head a little bit, as if asking a question.
He looks to you and kind of gives you the sign of, hurry this up, we're wasting time.
Right then. Let's get moving then. Let me just, meet up with... Let me just, just give me a moment. And she will, head back to where everyone else is hiding. Out of sight. Are you comfortable, to Nyland and the Kaelin, say, are you comfortable revealing yourselves to the Brythanians?
He says it's entirely if they can hold back trying to kill us.
All right. Just try not to loose the first arrow, tempting as though it may be.
He just says if the men cause a problem, there will be no bloodshed so long as the men themselves aren't the ones to seek it.
Right. Ahran will reemerge and say, we have some Brythanians who are assisting in the hunting of the necromancer. Will you have any is there any problem with that?
You mean Kaelin, not Brythanian?
Yeah, wait, to the Brythanians.
Our countrymen are assisting us?
No. We have some Kaelin assisting us in hunting this necromancer. Will there be any problems with that?
You trust them not to drive a knife into your back?
No, they owe us.
As though they have a concept of loyalty
They certainly seem to.
I think this is the time for Nyulrin's higher standing to take over here. What is this guy's title?
Dirk's already rolling his eyes.
Sir.
Yeah, Sir August Carver.
Knight, do you presume to keep questioning us? Or are you finally ready to have us pass through?
He looks to you as he just says, I apologize. I meant no disrespect, Lord Paladin. Still, I've not lived as long as I have to... I've not lived this long without being wary of the Kaelin. You never do know what their true intentions are. One moment they are friend. One moment they put on the face of a friend. The next they are driving a knife into your back because you stepped on grass. If you all are willing to, if you all do trust them, then I will relinquish to your better judgment.
They fought with us against this fucking necromancer we're trying to find, so good enough in my book.
And that will have to Carver is suddenly cut off as a javelin lands between you, but right in front of him, as you hear a loud, you hear a bit of you hear a war horn be blown, before several orcs begin to approach the encounter. They don't appear to be Huh?
Oh, joy, some fun!
Yeah, they don't appear to be immediately attacking, but you're counting about 12 orc warriors, led by Gortash, the orc you encountered previously.
Oh, fuck, never mind.
What?
It was like, oh, fuck, oh, damn it, never mind, they're friendlies.
Yeah. Ah, damn. The orc warrior calls out, "Man things! Who dares trespass in the realm of Organzal?" As
You want to go around too?
The orc just calls out, "Oi, you fucker!" The Brethanians have drawn their weapons and assumed a defensive stance as they are staring down the orcs. At this moment, the Kaelwyn have begun to kind of peer out with their arrows drawn. You see a couple of them are pointing towards the Brethanians, and a couple of them are pointing at the orcs. As the orcs, spotting you, Gortash does give a nod of recognition, but turns his attention towards the other two groups, calling them out for trespassing in their domain.
Dirk, they like you. Why don't you talk to them?
Alright, I'll see how this convinces them. They're with us! Here's my convincing card! I'm gonna pick up the javelin that was thrown at us and throw it back. But I'm gonna sort of throw it to where it's just swinging in the air end over end and hopefully just hit him in the head with the blunt end.
Are you sure?
We beat the shit out of each other!
Are you wanting to throw a live weapon at him?
Like I said, I'm not throwing it the proper way.
Alright, go ahead and roll persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yeah. I think that's what you're trying to here, right? I don't think this would be intimidation.
Well, I am trying to also hit him with the javelin.
Let him roll a strength-based persuasion.
Yeah, go ahead. Strength-based persuasion.
Well, I don't have proficiency in persuasion, so you'll just get strength.
Sounds good.
20.
You toss the javelin, and it kind of smacks into him, kind of knocking the air from his lungs.
I want to imagine it smacks him in the face, and we just hear a very loud and audible thunk.
How do the orcs react? The majority of the orcs present do not react well to a weapon being thrown at them, as many of them begin to snarl and kind of grab some of their weapons, though Gortash himself seems to kind of chuckle at this as he kind of does the thing where there's blood coming down his nose and he wipes it away with his knuckle. Kind of blackish purple blood that he just kind of rubs away as he just calls out. He demands to know why Gortash himself kind of raises his left hand to steady the orcs as he calls out, demanding to know why they are here. One of the Brethanian knights calls out of turn that they do not have to answer to beasts. Though Carver doesn't react to this. Carver seems to look at him with a look of don't shut up, but he also doesn't directly reprimand him, if that makes any sense. Meanwhile, the Kaelwyn are remaining completely silent, which seems to be only adding to the orcs' frustration. Go ahead, Niall.
Since the Kaelwyn were also aiming arrows at the Brethanians,
Can Nyulrin try and instill some order in these two groups?
Don't you mean the three groups? Because all three are.
The orcs.
You said-
That's Dirk's. That's Dirk's.
Okay. What do you?
area.
Yeah. How do you want to try to do this?
The gift that I said, no fucking fighting, no fucking fighting.
Yeah. How do you want to do this?
It's basically just gonna use his superior position within both the groups, because for the Brythanians, right, they're like the knights of the crown.
Yeah.
And for the Kaelwyn, they're that special position, honored outsider.
Chirin.
Yeah, he's gonna try and leverage that position together with his noble disposition to keep them all in line and listening to his orders.
Okay. I'm assuming this means you're wanting to just use that as a same to me, where it's like you don't know how to word it, but your character would. Or do you
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Go. All right. Go ahead and roll persuasion. Given that both sides highly respect you, I'm gonna say this will be a pretty low DC.
Nat 1, baby. Okay, not a nat 1.
All right. As you kind of put yourself in between the two groups, that kind of visibly makes them both kind of react. The Kaelwyn go from having their bows drawn to like keeping their arrows knocked. They're ready, but they wordlessly untighten the bow. And the Brythanians, you see the two gnomes among their number had both been outfitted with heavy crossbows, and you see them. They've been pointing towards the Kaelwyn as you see them both lower theirs. The other knights who were keeping an eye on the Kaelwyn kind of calmed down. Dirk, how are you trying to defuse the orcs?
Sort of like be like not shoulder barrier, body barrier between like them and the other two things. Like, they're with us, don't you fucking dare, or I will show you another round of pain.
All right, so probably
It's like,
intimidation for you.
More so towards like all the other orcs that are drawing weapons. Like, oh, bring it, motherfuckers.
So rolling intimidation most likely?
Yep, if that is what you want.
Go ahead. I will say, given your past, this will also be a fairly low DC. You earned a good deal of respect from the orcs.
Whoppa! 18.
Okay. All of you guys have managed to kind of temper things down a little. It doesn't look like either side is going to like spontaneous. It's not going to spontaneously burst into a fight, but it is very clear that no one is particularly happy seeing the other. There is a lot of tension here, but things are quiet right now. You can probably swing this if you choose your words carefully. What do you all do? The three groups are at tension, weapons in hand, and any moment now might result in a fight kicking out, but they're currently calm. Things have calmed at the immediate moment.
I'd almost say like now would actually be a good time for like a cliffhanger.
This is a good point.
I did have a different cliffhanger in mind.
Oh my lord.
Okay. Ahran will say,
if you guys think this is a good spot, we can call it here. Yeah, no, this is probably a good spot.
To me, it's a good spot.
I had something else in mind for the cliffhanger, but this can work.
alrighty. Solid session. Lots of introspection and stuff from